arrow streaks towards the rogue. 16?
That does hit.
Oh, okay. An arrow shot for 4 piercing damage as an arrowhead slides by and puts a cut along your cheek all the way back to your ear, and blood trickles down the right side of your face. That is their turn. Timor is up at the bottom of the round.
Can I pull a potion and hand it to Dragar?
You can. Yep.
That's what I do.
Okay. Shield of Faith goes down to a 4. And then that would be an action. You would have movement or bonus action at that point.
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
Back to the top of the round. We think it's round 8 if we're counting right. If not, sorry. Dragar is up. You were just handed a potion. So you have it in your hand now.
Who has the potion?
I gave it to you. That's my last healing potion.
All right. I'm gonna pull the top and I'm gonna drink it. Thank you.
All right. 2d4 plus 2. You can roll, or Timor can roll. Either one of you.
I got it on my sheet. Hold on.
As the liquid pours down your throat, you get the black licorice taste. And again, one of the things you notice is that it stops the bleeding and it closes the wound, but it leaves a little scar behind. So 3 and then 4, so 7. 7 points of healing. So it's an action to drink. Or actually, it's already in your hand, so bonus action if you want to use it to drink, or an action. You can choose which.
Oh, I'll do bonus action.
Okay.
Are we moving forward?
What of Scroll? He has one left.
That's right. I'm going to try to get to that Norker.
Remember, going over the barricade, each of those squares is 10 feet instead of 5.
I can get to hear that.
Okay. Looks like Pelennor is in watching us play.
I'm going to pull as I'm running. I pull my short bow and I knock it. For 13.
Yeah, so you're scrambling over, you're jostling weapons. You would have had to have dropped your sword and dagger, because if you're going to grab your bow all in one action and arrow, you have to kind of just let them go on the other side of the barricade. I assume that's what you wanted to do. And then the arrow flies, but then it hits the wall and is not able to strike the Norker.
He doesn't have advantage because I'm standing next to him, does he?
He gets advantage on surprise. He gets sneak attack damage if he hits. But I don't think he gets advantage on it.
Yep. You're right. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
All right, that brings us to the Druid. You got a whole team coming for you. Don't worry. Alberix is up.
Alberix scrambles over the top of the barricade and launches himself at the Norker to try to drive the spear through his skull.
All right. This is our Druid's version of Shillelagh, which actually looks like a celestial kind of spear, psychic spear, for his version of it. But a 12 will miss as it dodges away and looks intent on getting this bird wizard creature in the back. Anything else, Albrex?
That's it.
Oh, so close. You guys have wrecked these Norkers, but one is still standing. Can he finally lay a hand on one of you? Let's see. I don't think I've hit anybody hardly at all. Well, the first roll is the 23 because it's not disadvantage. It's normal. So that would be 23 for 7 bludgeoning, Mr. Wizard.
Okie doke. Ouch.
And then as you're reeling from this stone club that's just ratcheted into you, nearly taking the wind out of you, you might even feel a bone or two pop and have a crack or dislocation of some sort. It tries to bite you while you're reeling from that damage you just took, but misses as Dragar grabs your shoulder and pulls you out of the way slightly from the creature's teeth gnashing down on you. And that is its turn. That is it. Skrull, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna toll him to death, hopefully.
All right, let's do our normal
Can't
wisdom.
break 5.
16. No, he's able to shake off. He feels victory in his hands. He thinks he's going to try to take one of you down. He is not affected by your magics. That brings us to Sam, unless you have anything else you're going to do.
Nope. I'm in trouble.
All right, Dragonborn Cleric is up.
All right, I'm going to climb over the barricade and take a swing at the last Norker.
Okay.
And a miss.
Yeah, we hear your sword hit, and actually it hits it such a way that only the flat of the blade goes across the skin. It's not able to do any damage to this Norker as you move to try to help Skrull. Anything else from Sam?
And that's it.
All right. You guys have not moved any closer. 5 arrows streak out from the darkness in the back. So really only Timor is the only one that I think they would be firing at this point. So here comes some arrows. Are you still dodging or not on this one?
No, I gave that potion out, so.
Okay. So here's the first one. Arrow misses, thunks into the barricade. Next one hits right next to it as you can tell what they're doing is they're just kind of lobbing the arrows more than they're aiming them. So you're just seeing arrows fly all over.
Does that mean they're not going to hit quite as hard
Sure.
when they hit me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how combat archery works, right?
Exactly.
Shatters the 4th one. Ooh, that one probably is a hit.
21 hits.
2 piercing damage. Just a nick. You know, like crossbow bolts hit. You know?
Yeah.
And then, just arrows are just missing as they're just wafting down from the back of the pyramid. For some of you on the screen, that would be a very Gulf War-like experience that you've just had in D&D.
I'm going to prefer to call it more of a kung fu experience where I'm just dodging
Okay.
and knocking stuff out of the air.
I like it.
Cain, I'm going to walk the earth after this.
And it's it's your turn, so what do you do? Our paladin is up.
He takes one step back, takes his sword, draws a line in the floor, and then locks down in defense.
All right. Locked it down. Shield of Faith, 3 rounds left. Oh. 9th round. Dragar, you were up. You see Skrull is how many hit points you down to, Skrull?
Was that Scrawl?
Yeah.
To 9.
So just under half or right around half?
Right around half.
All right. So your buddy's been taking a beating. Dragar is up. Now you have a longbow in your hand.
All right, I'm gonna drop my bow.
And your sword and dagger are back here somewhere. You have more weapons. I bet you do.
Did he drop the sword and dagger?
15 hit.
Yeah, if you're going to, you only get one weapon interaction. So if you're going to try to draw a bow and use it to an attack, you would have to drop the weapons. You couldn't just put them away because that takes your interaction up. So, yeah, you would have had to drop that. Is this like a different weapon you have?
Is that 15 hit?
Oh, are you not hearing us?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
That again?
Yeah. So when you came over the barricade so that you could use your bow, you had to drop the rapier and dagger so that your one free interaction is your longbow drawing the arrow and firing. So they're back here by the barricade. So you can use a free interaction to go get them, or if you have other weapons on you, you could pull those. Or you have your longbow in your hand.
All right, I have another dagger in my hand, so I'm going to pull my dagger out and stab him.
Okay, that'll work. Go ahead and do that. Oh, it sinks in anyways. Good strike. And 10 points. It's enough as you have dagger in your offhand, you have your bow in your left hand, and you sink this dagger in the back of the neck of this Norker, who is just dead set on trying to get to the bird, and just falls on top of Skrull. Just as like sprawls out dead body, and Skrull is just looking at the blank stare eyes of this Norker that's now laying on him. All right, so as it falls, any other actions from Dragar?
No.
Okay, that will bring us to Alberix.
Alberix will take his shield and hold it defensively. I'm going to take the dodge action and start moving forward.
Okay, go ahead and move forward.
All right, hunkered down behind his shield with the spear low. He's moving forward.
All right. On their turn, you hear... Nobody was able to speak their language, so you hear them talking, and it's coming from the very back. It sounds quieter. It sounds guttural, and they're shouting, and then it sounds almost like it's reverberating or echoing from the back area, and almost like it's drifting. It's getting quieter and quieter. Skrull, you're up.
All right. Everything's dead. I guess I'm gonna get my healing potion out of my pack and take it.
Okay, yeah. So you can use your action to dig it out, and then you could bonus action drink it. 2d4 plus 2.
All right, here it comes. Woo!
8
All right.
points of healing as you taste the, once again, licorice aftertaste of this healing potion, and it only closes the wounds and stops the bleeding, but does not clear the skin. It leaves the mark still on the skin. Even the bruising still remains from the wound.
I love these potions.
You have, only thing left would be movement.
Heck no, I'm behind a nice safe wooden wall. I heard arrows flying.
Yeah, there's a lot of arrows on that barricade right now. Sam, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna follow suit with Albie and move my way up.
Okay, yeah, you can get to the one square just behind him. Yeah, right there.
All right, and then the same thing. Take the dodge action.
Okay. All right, so this time we hear some language. Does anybody... yeah, you can hear them saying something, but they seem to be far enough away you're not picking it up. It sounds like shouted commands coming from the back of the pyramid temple. Timor, you're up.
And move forward. I'm assuming those are big enough to take cover behind if something comes out, but I'm still defensive.
Yeah, you get some really solid cover right there. So it'd be +4 on top of anything else, cover-wise. All right, Shield of Faith is down to 2. All right, Dragar, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna my rapier, my dagger, and head up front.
All right. Yep. Remember, there's 10 feet for each of the barricade squares.
And I'm gonna use dash.
Okay. Your cunning action. Is that what you're using?
Yeah. Yes.
Or just regular
And
action?
then,
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
and then for my regular action, I'm gonna go into dodge.
Okay. So everybody's doing dodge. Ubrix, you can feel your team moving up behind you. You're up.
Shield still in front. He is going to move up steadily, peering into the darkness.
So let me explain a little bit to you while you're moving up. So about 10 feet away from you, the black circle is a big obsidian pillar that rises up into the darkness above you. And then you can see more of those obsidian pillars behind it. And it looks like it's holding the structure up. They're very stylized and very carved black with kind of like the a grayish etchings in them. To your left and to your right are, again, crates and barrels of various types, but they look like they're pretty trashed and they're pretty abused. And then as you pass the pillar, I'm going to go ahead and open up what you can see. Next to that pillar you're at now is you see a set of double stairs and a wall that goes down. So on either side are stairs that lead down into the darkness. To your left, you see several bedrolls and what looks to be like some type of campsite. And over to your right also are bedrolls and a campsite. Timor, behind you, there appears to be bedrolls and camping equipment below you. And those are the things you guys can see at this point. You don't see any of the tokens. I might have missed a couple there.
Good. I was starting get a little worried there.
Two sneaky little Norkers.
Yeah.
So are there walls on either side of these stairwells?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to take the dodge action with so I'll hunker down behind my shield, but I'm also going to try to make use of this column if I can.
Okay, yeah, you get partial there. So you get +2 to anything that comes up.
Can I see down the stairs at all?
Not from that spot. It looks like you have to get close. They obviously go down farther. I mean, you can see a little ways down, but you don't see where they end and you don't see anything on the stairs at the moment. You hear voices down the stairs. Actually, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Gladly.
Oh, yeah,
18?
actually good. So you hear some commands. Some of it is in common, coming from a growled voice with yips and barks that are interspersed between the common. And you hear him say... and it's from a ways down. From the way the sound is, it sounds like it must be quite a ways down these stairs. These stairs must go... It's not like just, 10 or 15 feet. It looks like they must go down quite deep. And you hear the voice say, "We hold here. Grog says no one enters the temple. Don't worry, the ogres are on the way." And then you hear shuffling, and you hear the drawing of bows and sounds of people's feet down, further down, but you can't see any of it, you just hear it.
All right. So there's no one in these areas to the left or the right. We're the only ones on this area, this level. Everybody is down those stairs, correct?
You see nothing but bodies around at this point, yeah. So that
They're
was your
holed up at the
movement.
bottom.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll wait to talk on. They're holed up at the bottom of the steps. It's all clear up here. See what we can find.
All right, so the Norkers are doing their thing out of sight. That brings us to Skrull.
All right. I'm gonna imagine that it is safe now, and
Sure.
I'll hop over and move as far as.
Yep, so 20 feet to get over the barricade, and then 5 for every square after that.
Yep, right there.
All right, Sam's up.
All right, I'm gonna walk up next to Albie and just kind of guard the stairs with him behind the column, while the others check out the room.
Okay.
And I'm in the dodge action.
Awesome. The Knolls, they're going to just shoot some arrows up the arrowway, but they're going to be at disadvantage. And you guys are going to both have +2 to AC plus your dodge, so these will be at disadvantage.
And we're behind the column too, right?
Yep. Yep. So, a 17, I don't think hits either one of you. A 9, a 13, a 12, and an 8. Yeah, so we see some arrows just fly up, and they kind of arc, and then they skitter to a stop out in the pyramid area out here, but they don't hit anybody. All right, that brings us to Timor.
I'm gonna grab the biggest barrel or crate I can find and move it over to the end. Worry about that. Just start creating a barrier on top of those stairs.
Yeah, so go ahead and do a strength check. Should be easy for you.
He has advantage on strength checks from being in that totem.
There you go, advantage. How long does the totem last?
Let me check.
Do I make a saving throw for that, or is there an athletics check I can make?
You click the word strength over in your ability score area. So this is just raw pick up and move kind of power.
1 minute.
Yeah, easy. And you can feel like this thing probably weighs about 150 pounds, but you just scoop it up. And it must be filled with something inside of it. And you're able to move the crate. So you can go your 30 feet, so move your token to where you want to go, and then I'll put the crate next to it.
At top of the stairs.
Oh, well, I would put the crate, except it comes as a whole thing, so we'll just pretend.
All right. Does it jingle like there's gold in there, or is it sloshing like for wine?
No, it's definitely not that. The crate that you move over, you hear definitely some rustling inside, and it's definitely weighted pretty heavy. You guess either... I mean, it feels like it's full of dirt or something. You don't know what's actually in it.
Okay.
Nice work.
That's it for me.
Okay. Shield of Faith down to 1. Dragar, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go to that nearest chest and pry it open to see what's inside of it.
Okay, over here on the left. Okay, so you jam your dagger in with just trying to go for speed. You're able to pry open. It's easy to do because the wood's kind of rotting. And inside of it, you find what looks to be like old grain and probably basically like a food store that's pretty old, but they've been using. So grains and rice and filled with the kind of stuff that you'd probably throw in a stew.
All right.
Or add
Nothing
water
in
to.
here.
Go ahead.
It's old food stores. There's nothing. And he kicks the chest.
Now behind you also, you notice bedrolls also on this side down near the wall. So it looks like some of the creatures must have been camping in this area also.
All right, can I search that area as well?
Sure, you can do an investigation check. It'll take yeah, go ahead. Roll investigation. Yeah, you're kicking stuff. It's definitely like blankets, and they smell. It looks like bowls and some clay cups that they were using, but you don't really see anything else as you just quickly kind of scrummage through it. And that'll take up your whole turn doing that.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, Albrecht, you're up. You can still hear rustling down there, and you still hear them saying, "Hold fast! They're almost here!"
He says there's ogres coming. I think he may be bluffing. I'm going to go over here to the corner. I'm going to keep the dodge action, and I'm going to look down the stairwell.
Yeah, you definitely see a couple of arrows fly up. They don't hit or come close to you, but it's like they're just shooting arrows up. And then down, which seems to be probably, you're guessing before you have to duck back from just the arrows coming at you. Maybe 20 feet, maybe 30 feet, maybe 40-ish feet. You're just taking a rough guess. You can see a line of Norkers are there waiting, and then behind them are a grouping of gnolls that are using their longbows and shooting arrows up. And there's a whole just mess of them down, much further down. More than the number you see at the doorway that you guys have already killed.
Whisper back to my compadres. There's a shit ton of them. We should just get what we can get and go. And with that, I'm going to move off to the side after I peered down in there and take a look at these bedrolls.
Yeah, so you can do a quick search of it, so you can go ahead and do an investigation check very quick. And you're not being really thorough, so I mean, you kick them around. It's obvious they were camping here. You see again the eating utensils. You see, actually, you would see a chest up in this corner. And
Signal that again. I didn't see it. My sheet was in the way.
Up in this corner here.
Over here, right?
I'll put it on the layer for you.
Hooray! Ooh, I found something. That'll be my turn.
All right. They're holding fast. Scrawl, you're up.
I cross back over the barricade and begin the recall scroll.
All right. Yeah, so the town scroll takes 10 minutes. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So we see you begin to chalk out an area that's a big circle that everybody needs to stand in, and you start reciting the words that is this incantation, and it's like about 12 different unintelligible words just over and over and over, and you have to do it in like this low guttural voice. And we know that from Scrawl, who can create all kinds of different voices. Who's the voice you use?
Probably Time Wars.
Okay, so we hear an exact replica of Time War's voice start the ritual. All right. So actually, yeah, we could probably come out of, unless you guys are going down the stairs, they're not coming up right away. So you guys have a few minutes to do whatever you would like to do. I'm going to come out of turn orders to make this quicker.
I'm going to build a big barricade in front of that stairwell. And then if I can find anything flammable, I'm going to start stuffing it in there and getting ready to light.
Okay.
Buy us more.
So, yeah, you can spend the 10 minutes moving the stuff over. You're not sure how much of it's flammable, but, I mean, a little bit of it's going to be. You definitely find, like, some barrels of cheap wine that you think might be flammable. Most of it's foodstuffs and food stores in the crates. Yeah, all of it's and then you can tell like it's it looks like it's stolen goods from you're not quite sure where, but some of it definitely looks like it's stolen food stores from the Darklings. And over 10 minutes you can just start piling the stuff up here.
That's awesome. Look at that. I'm going to go check out that chest and direct Sam to go search the area to the right.
Okay. Yeah, so you get to the chest, and it does have a crude lock on it. And it looks like it's a chest that the top of it opens. It looks like it's used quite often, but currently is in a locked position.
Dragar, can you help me?
You call for Dragar?
Indeed.
See what I can do.
I will offer my help to him while he's doing it, so maybe he can get advantage.
All right. So, Sam, you can do a search while you're up in this right-hand corner.
So, what do you want me to roll to try to pick these locks?
Do you have the pick lock tool set?
Yes, I do.
Then I think if you just click on the name of that tools, it should roll it. And if not, it'll probably be a D20 plus your proficiency score, which is +2 at this level. And then if you have, if you're proficient in it, you get another +2.
Does he get advantage from my help?
He does not, but 12 is enough to open this crude lock.
Hooray, crude lock.
All right, so...
Easy enough.
Okay, yep, so you open it up, and inside that, you see what looks to be a rolled up piece of vellum, so like some type of paper material. And then also you see a bunch of small leather pouches inside this chest, somewhere probably a dozen or maybe 2 dozen worth.
Should we take the whole chest of Dirks?
It'll only weigh us down. And as he says that, I'm going to use my telepathy, or my telekinesis, to start lifting them out of them and into Dragar's hands.
Okay, yeah, each of the pouches are like a little belt pouch, and there's about, I mean, if you spend time counting them, there's about 20 of them.
We will count them, but not now.
Okay, so yeah,
And
just
then
write down
I'm-
20 pouches.
And then stuff the paper into my belt, and then I'm going to... Dragar, perhaps there is something in the bottom. These creatures might be cunning enough to hide something with a false bottom.
Oh yes, I've seen this before. I'm gonna search it extra carefully for a false bottom.
Yeah, and you tear it apart, and you're sure that there isn't one. You can see, you can tell that there is no false bottom in this chest.
There is no false bottom in this chest of Dirks. Let's go.
I would think Dragar's eye might catch that Alberic's search of this kind of camp area was probably not very well done.
All right, I'm gonna search that camp area.
All right, so while you're doing that, Sam, did you go ahead and give me a investigation check as you search this area over here to the right? And Scrawl, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing the never mind.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, nope, not a good roll. So yeah, it's a bunch of bedrolls and just leftover things that the creatures that are camping here must have just left. So bowls and spoons and drinking mugs, but they're not really mugs. They're more like little copper bowls, just of different sizes. All kind of beat up and tore up and gross. Dragar, you can go ahead and roll investigation, and because it's already kind of been tossed by Alberix, I'll let you have advantage on it. 14 is, just enough. Okay, so you find over in this area, one of the areas looks like it's, the bedroll looks much better. It looks cleaner. It's a better quality. And it has a silk pillow that, although there's some stains on the silk, it's actually a fairly expensive material. And also underneath that bedroll, you find a large sack that has the clink of coin when you pick it up inside of it. Feels pretty hefty.
Woo! Woo! Look what I found of Dirks.
Well
Go
done,
for it.
Dragon Man.
I'm maintaining a
Let's go.
vigil at the top of the stairs there so that nothing comes up without us.
Okay.
Probably don't have any time to go help Sam search, do I?
No. I think you guys have kind of used up your 9-ish minutes. And then what we hear is a roar from the stairs, and you hear a boulder smash into and through the barricade. I mean, it just hammers it, splintering one of the barrels, and oil, or not oil, but wine leaks down the stairs as it's been crushed by this bowling ball size rock. And then you hear a roar, several roars coming from up. Sounds like it's pounding its way up the stairs.
Perhaps they did have ogres. Shit.
All right, I'll set fire to it before I leave if I can, and I will run over the barrier.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so you're able to get your tinder out and you strike it on fire, and you hear again a roar, but it sounds like it's just barreling towards the top as you then run to your companions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stop there for a moment, and we are going to go to our first break. And when we come back, our group will finish their ritual, which still has at least 3 rounds to complete before it is done. And we shall see how that goes for them. All right. And so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We still got a little bit more with the session, and we'll see how our heroes make their escape. Stay tuned. All right, let's kick this off again. So we're in the final 6 seconds of the teleport scroll that they are creating right now. It's creating a portal. As you're etching in and you're reciting the words, we can see those of you, there's a circle that you have to stand in for this to work, and it's big enough for your entire group. And let me put one on the map for you. How about that? Draw a shape.
Oh, my totem's down.
All right, there we go. So in the last few seconds, so it's actually 12 seconds of the ritual, and you can see that those of you that stand inside the circle, as you're looking out, it's like this purple kind of mystic power starts to pulse from the circle that was drawn on the ground. And then as it shoots up, it's almost like you're standing in a column, and it's like this purple smoke that you can see through. The creatures on the outside don't see any of this. They just see you guys kind of standing there. And we see arrows flying out, and we hear the crash of barrels, and we hear in common an ogre roar, clearly something large, yelling about, "You burned me! You will pay!" And you just hear just crashing of crates and barrels being just smashed at the top of the stairway. Arrows are shooting and arcing out and over, but not really coming anywhere near you guys, hitting the barricade, not really doing too much. And then in the last final moments of the ritual, just as you can hear the footsteps, the heavy footsteps of 2 enormous hulking creatures that you can see over the barricade, heading towards you as you just disappear and blip out of existence. Now, what they see is just all of you standing there braced for action, and then it's just like you're gone, as if an invisibility spell or something has been cast. From inside all of you, you become disoriented. You feel like you're falling, and it feels like it goes on forever. It feels like it might go on for days or weeks. And then you appear in a circle in a room, and all of a sudden, like your legs give out, and you have a splitting headache as you appear in this kind of like just an empty room made of stone, and has a door in one side of it.
Did we make it?
I didn't like that. We're alive, I think.
I'm going to stand up and dust myself off.
So as you're checking each other over and you're looking, in the center of the circle currently stands what looks like an oval shape circle of purple, and then it just radiates and pulses.
So they weren't bluffing about the ogres, I see.
I think we got out just in time.
Look at all this loot we got, friends.
I'm going to go over to the door and open that door up and see where we're actually at.
Always down to business, aren't you?
Yeah, you recognize
Never
that
used
there are stairs that lead up, and then when you kind of go up those stairs, you recognize that you're in the Temple of Tyr in Bastion.
Helm.
Or Helm, yep. Temple of Helm. In Port Bastion.
Well, that's a much better way to travel than just walking.
I wish we had done such a thing earlier. Nice work, Scroll.
Thank you.
Nice
You are
work,
all
of
you you are cowards. Those ogres were about to fear Sam and run
I'm
away.
sure they would.
I'm sure that's exactly what would have happened. Just as they came out to speak with Timur when he wanted to parlay.
I'm gonna sit down on the stairs and bleed.
5, maybe 10 swings of my sword and some lightning, and they would be nothing but ashes.
I'm sure of that, Sam. I'm sure.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Timur.
Thank you.
Sam, we can go back. We'll kill them ogres. Or maybe we'll watch you kill them. Brother.
I think
You
I
get 5
want,
back.
I want a beer and a hot meal. Thank you.
Aye. I think some food would do us well and perhaps a bit of rest before we head back. Slaying ogres is hungry work. Or so I'm told.
I'll see you guys later. I'm going into the courtyard to go train some more.
A few seconds with just one of those things, and I was half dead.
He slipped right by me.
My apologies, Skrull. I left you alone.
I've got some spells. I could have gotten away, but then I would have left you guys without support.
He probably wouldn't have gone after you if he had known you would try to eat him after.
Once again, I'm standing there covered in blood, so I am eager to go back and get a bath and a hot meal.
Yeah, there's definitely several priests of Helm who see you, and what they do is they come up over, and there seems to be several of the staircases that lead down under the temple. And next to the door that you guys come out of, they seem to write in some type of code, and then you see your names are listed there. And then they put a lock on the door.
Is that the way back?
Yeah, and say that again.
Do we have to go back?
Oh.
Do we have to use the scroll to go back?
You don't have to. It will expire after a certain amount of time, but it stays for, a certain amount of time in case you were to go back through it.
Ah, yes. A bookmark of life. Saving our place from where we last went.
Very Diablo-esque.
Well, I'm going to ask the priests, what if they trap the spot that we left? What happens?
He says that is a danger.
You give them too much credit, Timur. They're beasts.
Aye, they're beasts. They might crap there, but trap, I doubt they shall do.
You do know from the description of how the town portal scroll works is that it's not something that can be seen from the other side. So there's no telltale portal just sitting there that they can see. As far as you can tell, you guys disappeared and there's nothing there. From your side, you can see it.
Like a snake on the ground.
No, well, that's just magically drew it out, and then
All right.
you see it when you're inside the circle, but not outside of it.
They won't figure that out.
Let's go.
They have brains of a bird.
Get back.
Careful, I have a friend who has the brains of a bird.
A big brain.
Well, let's go bathe the paladin so we can head back there.
Indeed, Dragar shall bathe the paladin. Let us go.
And Barracks will get him a beer while I bathe him.
I shall fetch his drink.
Just warm the water for me, perhaps.
He's a full-service dragon man. You shall be bathed. With that, I'm gonna head back to where we stay, get cleaned up, some food, and maybe look at what we got. Get some rest.
Yeah, and that would typically be the end of your expedition. So you would be back at that point. So we could go ahead and award what you found. So let's see here. So first thing you find, the things that you found. So tell me, each of you that wrote something down, what did you write down?
Sheet of vellum.
Okay, so when you open that, and we'll assume that the group is together, whether you're at the tavern or in one of the rooms, or you've chosen like a private room or even a common room, wherever you want to take a look at this. When you unroll the vellum, what you see is it looks to be a map that shows a mountain range, and then on the mountain range are several triangles, and then written at the bottom of the map, you see that it says, and it's written in a language that you may or may not know. So whoever's going to try to read it, tell me what languages you know.
I'm going to give it to Scrawl.
I will ritual cast comprehend languages and read it.
Okay. You recognize that it says, recruit more guards for the upper level. Tell them food and treasure will be provided by the mighty Grurg. Groorg. And then there's several, probably about 4 or 5 different triangles on the map. And when looking at this map and comparing it to the map of the table that's sitting in the tavern that you guys are in. Let me go to that handout a second. Carved into the table at the lovely coin. It seems to show you that there's a mountain range out past where the table has been carved to the west and some to the north. And it looks like it would match up in a way to some of the area you haven't seen to the west and the north.
Very cool.
It seems as though there are outposts that they draw their manpower from. Norkermen, or whatever you call them.
All right. Did anybody else write something down on their character sheet? Tell me what you wrote down.
Morning glory, 20 GP.
Yep. So you're able to sell that in town at the apothecary for 20 gold pieces. And he gives you the 20 gold for it.
Just take your 4 gold, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else write anything down?
20 pouches.
Aha, the 20 leather pouches. These are small enough that obviously would fit on a belt. And when you look in each of them, each one contains 10 silver pieces.
So we each get 40 silver.
I'm not chopping wood.
I also found a large sack of gold and a silk pillow.
Yeah. Okay. So the large sack, as you count out the money that's inside of it, you find 247 gold pieces.
Woo!
And there appears to be a small dagger with a silver handle and appears to have a topaz gem set in the pommel.
Cast ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. So as you do that, you notice that there is no magic coming from the dagger. It looks like it's an ornamental style of dagger, probably not even really good for fighting with. Probably could be used just to sell for just the type of item it is. And then, but you do pick up something from the pillow.
Scrawl, it seems as though the pillow may have some magic.
Spear and magic pillow.
Oh, you got me.
Is it apostropedic?
It's +2 to resting, yeah. It seems like it's coming from inside the pillow.
I'm going to reach inside the pillow and see what I find.
Yeah, so you're just pulling feathers out and feathers out and feathers out, and you finally get to a strange feather that seems to have, instead of like the one shaft that comes off of a feather, there appears to be 4 of them growing out of the same feather fletching. It looks very different from the other ones.
Is it an arrow?
No, it's not long enough to be an arrow. It's just the actual feather itself, but it has 4. I think it's just called like
Quills?
a shaft or I guess a quill, maybe. Yeah. But they all lead into the same fletching of the feather.
Interesting.
What do you make of this, my feathered friend?
And Skrull does his, twists his head 90 degrees and 90 degrees to inspect it. And he says, "May I spend some time with it?"
Of course.
I will,
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check.
Cool.
So this would be just like, the Arcana check would be just like we're looking at it right now. Yeah, you'd be able to pick it up. So, you notice that it's magical, and you walk over to Dragar, and you tell Dragar to kind of pull his bow out, and he holds the bow out, and when you touch the feather to the string, you see all of a sudden, like just in a flash, there appears to be 4 arrows looking like they're knocked and ready to be fired. And then when you pull the feather away, it turns back into the feather.
Cool. Okay. I kind of bow and hand it to him.
Thank you.
That's pretty sweet.
All right. Anything else?
I'd like to sell that small dagger if you guys are okay with it, so we can get some money for it.
Okay. It is a silvered weapon.
Good
Silver handle.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was a silver dagger.
Yeah,
okay.
small dagger with silver handle and a topaz set in the pommel.
All right. Sell it.
Yeah, so with Dragar, you shop around, you go to a couple of the different shops, and the highest price you find one of the shop owners willing to give you, and it's more of a decoration piece. It's not. You recognize also that it's not something that's meant to be fight with. It would probably break. It's more ornamental, and they're willing to give you 350 gold pieces from the highest bidder.
How much?
350 gold.
Woo! Is there any chance that if I go with him on some of those trips that I can use my persuasion?
And I'm
to
giving you
affect
guys
that?
all the highest value.
Oh, all right.
That's 119 gold pieces and 4 silver pieces each. That's the gold pieces and the money from the dagger.
Nice.
All right. So you spend your time with your loot that you have acquired. The XP for your expedition would be a total of defeating the ambush that was waiting for you, and not only for the actual killing of the Norkers that attacked, but also kind of pushing the guards from the top down, and then searching several of the areas successfully. Came out to a total of 2,150 XP total. So divided by 5 of you, that would be 430 XP per person.
I believe that's a level.
Yeah, were you guys close enough? That's good.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
All right.
I was at 610. I needed 900.
Cool.
I didn't have any inspiration, did I?
You did from the last session. I don't think you guys used it in this session.
Awesome. I think I know what I'm going to use it on.
We all got
Really?
we all get inspiration from last session.
I believe that's at the end of last session. You guys all had inspiration.
Most magnanimous of our dungeon master. I shall use it for my hit dice.
All right. So to finish out, we'll go ahead and you guys can kind of do your training montage of how you are becoming tougher, or if some of you already have your idea of what you get for your... You guys are all making third level. Did anybody not make third level? Okay, so everybody made third level. So we can go around to whoever knows what they're getting for their third level. And if you want to kind of do your training montage to tell us how you're getting these things before you decide what your either next expedition is, whether you're going back. And that portal thing will last for 7 days. So you have time to make a decision to either let it expire and not go back immediately, or if you do wish to head back to the Black Pyramid. So who would like to go first with their training montage for third level? Tell us what you get, how you get it, RP wise. Go ahead.
I can go if nobody else is ready.
Go for it,
Do it.
Birdman.
All right. Skrull spends a lot of time at the magic shop, and just kind of pestering and poking, not badly, but enough to try to get a bit of knowledge from the master of the shop. And he manages to pick up 2 spells, and also learns how to short rest and recover some spell energy. But that's all he gets. And I'm going to spend my inspiration on my hit dice roll.
And the person you meet there, just as a contact, is Belshazzar, owns the magic store, which is called Belshazzar's Emporium.
Thank you.
All right, who else?
Dragar is walking around town and he meets an old swashbuckler, and he works with him on his technique and how to fight the swashbuckling style.
Cool. What cool things does that give you?
I don't have it right here in front of me.
Oh, no
There are
problem.
some
All right, anybody else?
Yeah. Sam would like to talk to the priests of hell, because there's really no place to worship any of the dragonborn gods who Sam is used to worship. So he approaches one of them and asks if he can build within the temple or nearby a shrine to Sasashi, the father of wisdom and truth, for the dragonborn god. So he's going to do that, and this symbol is a golden lamp. So he's going to spend some of his time with a little whittling knife, just whittling like a little totem to wear around his neck of a golden lamp for his god.
Yeah, and they'll point you to an area where other they've kind of set aside inside of Port Bastion a place for others to set up shrines to the different gods that they all worship. And you see various other small shrines that are in this area, and they allow you to kind of set one up that you will be others of your faith would see and recognize if they were to walk by.
All right. Yep. So I do that, and along with more sword training in shield, just pairing with dummies or whoever wants to train with me in the courtyard. Just work harder on the sword training and also setting up the temple to Sasashi.
Okay. And so for third level, what do you get though, mechanically? Just so our audience knows what you're getting.
Right.
More spells.
Okay, hold. See, no more divinity. I do get a gust of wind and shatter for my domain spell. So more fun lightning, wind, storm creating spells to unleash on the Norkers and the ogres or wherever we end up going.
All right, cool. That leaves our paladin and our druid.
Go ahead, Al.
Al finds a really tall set of stairs, and he runs throughout the town, shadow boxing, and children come out from all of the different areas and follow him, and he runs through the streets and then makes his way up the steps and shadow boxes next to a statue of an old Gith, and everybody cheers him, and he turns into a squirrel and runs away from everybody in fear. No, that's not. I'm just messing.
That's awesome.
So it's like a Rocky Druid scene is what happens. No, he spends a lot of his time. His connection with this new plane has grown, and as such, the prime material plane is becoming more attuned with it. He spends almost as much time as he spends with his compatriots. He is spending away on the edges of the town in these different areas and just connecting with the earth. And one of the things that he definitely does is he is becoming more familiar with the floral and fauna of this area. So I'm going to be using my herbalism kit to try to find some ways to use that. And I will be getting some second level spells, and that's pretty much what he's getting.
All right. Our final third level character, our paladin.
Okay, Timur spends quite a bit of time wandering the town. He's in a position now where he needs to take his
dog out.
and he is unsure of what to do. However, the last 3 encounters that he has been with, where he's tried to try to bring some level of civility to this land, have all been tremendous failures. And he starts to think that it might be time for a little more an iron hand when it comes to dealing with what's outside the walls of Port Bastion, a town that he has come to love, all of its inhabitants, mostly the children and the folks at the lovely coin. So at some point in time during the week, he goes and sees down at the docks somebody to tattoo his oaths on his arms and on his back. These will be the oaths of conquest, that he will go forward and tame this land for the people of Port Bastion and make it a safe place.
All right.
A law-abiding place.
The Conquest Paladin. That should be fun. Cool. All right. So that doesn't take too much time, and quickly you realize that the clock is ticking on your town portal, which has been locked away so that nobody else can use it until you guys deem you're done with it, or you're going to do a different expedition. Also, from the previous session, Skrull also got an extra 25 XP because he was the only one that did a successful check during the journey, and he got the foraging check. So you would also be able to write down, Skrull, 25 XP for yourself.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah.
all XP and treasure has been doled out for that expedition. I think we would have a scene now where you have gathered in... well, you guys decide where you're going to gather and have a discussion about what you're going to do next. So who decides where to meet, where are you doing it, when are you doing it, and start us off with what your group has this conversation.
Lovely coin tap. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
So, I vote we go back to the temple. Clean.
As Timor speaks, Albirix looks to Skrull and the two dragon men.
Yes, I agree. Let's go back.
It's as good a plan as any.
I wouldn't have left.
You didn't need to get your armor repaired.
Perhaps we should let the others know that there are outposts where they draw their army from, as the map is out in the table in front of them. He points to the two triangles.
Did we give this map to Rula?
Sell it to her, Paladin.
I don't know that there's a need to sell anything. You could copy it as well as, and I would think.
She is our port in this storm. I would not sell this to her. This should be information freely given for the control of this land.
Skrull will then make a copy of it using his mimicry and forgery.
Okay.
And Timor can give her the original, and we have our copy.
And now the great table shall be updated, so these others can risk their necks.
We'll need strong people venturing forth from this town in order to bring it all under control. So, the more... nice rolls.
Indeed.
Thank you.
The longer I stay upon this plane, I feel as though my power grows. It is a good feeling, to say the least.
Perhaps we can buy some extra supplies now that we know they're going into a situation we're going into. Dungeoneering gear, flasks of oil.
And your armor looks as though it's seen better days.
Yes, I need a squire to wash it and repair it.
I'm going to look at Dragar. You draw his bath. Will you wash his armor?
Sure, I've got a following of children that will be more than happy to wipe the blood from it.
I will draw his bath, but I will not clean his armor.
I think the children would have right up until you went Conquest Paladin, and then maybe after that they leave you alone.
They can't get away from me in town. They love me. I'm Bruce Wayne in town. So I'm telling you.
You have a
I'm
different
Batman
steely-eyed
outside.
look now than you had before. Something happened to you on that last trip.
In town, he is jovial, well-connected man about town.
wild furball guy.
As soon as we leave the gate, I'm Batman.
So you can buy pretty much any equipment that you can find in the PHB that you want. It'll be at the player handbook prices. The magic shop has plenty in stock, though most of that stuff is still pretty expensive. If any of you have 1,000 gold, you might be approaching some of the items that are there. I don't know what you guys came out with total for each of you.
Nowhere close.
But there are potions
Definitely
for
not.
sale at the PHB price, and you guys are willing. You know, I mean, your portal is sitting in the center of the entrance to the pyramid.
I would like to know. I have herbalism kit. I'd like to try to make some healing potions. Can I do such a thing?
Not currently. I think eventually I will put in some building stuff like that on your downtime, but I don't have any of that currently. Right now, stuff is just for sale. And probably RP-wise, we would just chalk it up to this is a new land, so it's hard for you to pick out the ingredients that you normally would be able to find easily.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
But you're definitely getting more attuned, like you said. And that's definitely a good thing that you pointed out, was that the forests, the mountain, the ground, the streams are probably very faint whispers to you now. Before it was just a void of nothing, no connection to it at all. But now you're starting to hear the faintest of whispers, and then the longer you stay in this land, the more you begin to hear, you know, the music and the sound of, and the connection to this land and this nature. If you're going to purchase stuff, go ahead and put it in chat so we know you at least bought it, and then mark off whatever gold or whatever you need to do that.
Armor repairs.
Yes, they are.
Just so everybody knows, the wretched lifestyle expenses are actually, there's no cost for that. If you decide to live like a wretch, costs nothing.
So who in the end? ended
5
up
gold to
walk-
repair anything that needs to be repaired.
Who ended up walking off with Timor's armor?
I would assume Sam had the same chain at that point, so we've just sold it.
Okay.
Unless you want it.
Oh, I can't wear it. But what I was gonna say is, whoever went to clean your armor, I caught up with them and I just prestidigitated it clean, and then I sort of would say, "Don't tell him," so that they come back later on like they worked so hard, but I cleaned the armor in like 3 snaps.
When I get to build armor, it's going to be all white, so my enemies know I'm coming. And to show the blood better.
Dun, dun, dun.
A big black crescent moon.
If you know it.
Khonshu.
It looks like a big old furball dolomite coming at him.
Paladin of Khonshu. I love it.
He'll be a split personality, just like that guy.
Oh, there you go. That'd be good. All right. So the portal's there. You are all smart enough to realize that though they can't see it, they had posted guards, and the minute you pop through, it's just like you're in the middle of all of it. Whatever's there. Was there a plan that this group is going to do, or are you just going to just
no
boldly
negative
step through?
To just walking back at this point, I'd be all for walking back so that we don't walk into a trap.
We run the risk of a patrol, but that is better than just appearing on their front door.
Anybody else?
What say you, Dragar?
I think we just go back.
Take our chances.
Yeah.
Teleport back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess
Gets
that's
there that much faster. Might I suggest we do it at the height of the day so that anything that might be light sensitive is no longer hanging around us?
Yeah.
Well, if you recall from your initial approach, they stayed inside the shadows. They let you approach to the barricade. They let you climb over the barricade. And it was once you were over the barricade before they engaged their actions. And your portal's on the other side of the barricade, but will be in plain sight of whatever sentries they had, just as they saw you when you guys came up the first time. I'm okay. So we're just stepping through?
Yep.
We're gonna do that next week, though, right? We're
Yeah.
talking about buying stuff all through. Yeah, my vote is to walk back, but if everybody else wants to just jump through the portal, I think it's a tactically unsound maneuver.
It'll get you in the action quick. You get to meet some ogres. You're 3rd level now, so it'll be better, right? You can take ogres now.
Yeah.
Not plural.
Oh, that could be a problem then.
And you're not remembering all the gnolls and all the Norkers that are still there.
That is true.
And you did say spellcaster last time.
I did. And it's been at least 4 or 5 days before you guys have made your decision. So they're also recruiting throughout your endeavors. Although you have been whittling them down, so you've done a good job with that. But all right. So yay or nay?
I say we travel on foot then.
That's a fantastic idea. I fully support him.
What does the group vote? Through the portal or walk back?
Walk.
Yeah, let's walk.
Through the portal.
Me and the rogue are outvoted. I guess we walk.
You and the rogue can join the Sons of Vincent. They'd go through the portal.
Birdman strokes his hit point roll, and now he's suddenly a monster.
3rd level makes all the difference for the wizard.
It's like Rodan. We're going to change your name.
Nice. I spit lightning.
All right, so it doesn't matter which way you're going to go, except that when we come back in our next session, although it might be a little bit short, though most of the time we do stop right about 11 o'clock. When we come back in our next Monday night session, they will begin their expedition back out to the Black Pyramid. They are set on besieging this place and seeing what is further down, I assume, inside the Black Pyramid and what this Grug might be. So stay tuned for that for next Monday. I'm just thinking of my schedule. Yeah, there's nothing I need to worry about my schedule for next week. So Monday we should be good to go. There should be a game this Thursday. I've seen a couple players starting to organize it. I hope they're able to gather their party, and it sounds like they're going to head out and check out one of the ruin sites and maybe even one of the other rumors that have been carved into the table and see what is out that way. So that is all we will have for tonight. If you missed anything, you can go ahead and check it out on YouTube at youtube.com/SirLucien, and you can check out the VODs here on the Twitch channel. And if you just want to tell us how cool the campaign is, you can send that over on Twitter at SirLucien Gaming, all one word. So thanks for joining, and we will see you in the next Monday session. Bye. Outro, transition, mute, and done.